December 1st marked the first day of meteorological winter, and that means everyone is wondering just how much snow we could get this year. Ron Hearst has a look at winter predictions for the Ozarks.
When determining what the winter is going to be like here in the Ozarks, it's often important to know what the sea surface temperatures are and whether or not we're in an El Nino pattern or a La Nina pattern. Well, this year we've been in an El Nino pattern, which means the waters off the coast of Peru are much warmer than average, and you can see how this goes all the way across the Pacific Ocean. Well, what does that mean for the jet stream? Well, what this does is it actually pushes the subtropical jet farther north across the southern tier of the country. Oftentimes for the Ozarks, this means a warmer, wetter type weather pattern because we're getting moisture from the Pacific Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico up here as well. However, this isn't the only thing to take a look at. Oftentimes we want to see what the patterns are out in the Pacific, the Arctic Oscillation, and the Atlantic Oscillation as well. And so that will determine where the polar jet stream is. And this year it's been coming straight out of central Canada, down across the upper Mississippi Valley, the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes, and on into New England. Now, for us to get a lot of snow here in the Ozarks, these two jet streams would have to intersect a little bit farther west at eastern Colorado or in western Kansas, and this year they're just not doing that. Also, because we've been under the influence more of this polar jet stream, this is a drier, cooler weather pattern for the Ozarks. We've also seen some indications of that. Just a case in point, here's what tomorrow's jet stream looks like. We have a big trough of low pressure carved out across the east coast where the colder weather is diving. In the meantime, the warmer weather pattern has been down here along the Gulf Coast, much of the southern plains, and much of the southern Rockies as well. Now, this, of course, will oscillate back and forth over time, and we'll get little bits of each, but overall we're looking about like this weather pattern. Now, the National Weather Service, by contrast, for their winter forecast for the next 90 days is going warmer than average weather for the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and the north, and just barely slightly above average here in Springfield, with cooler than average conditions for much of the central plains. As far as how much moisture to expect, the Weather Service is predicting maybe slightly above average moisture for a small segment of our viewing area here in far southwest Missouri and northern Arkansas. The rest of us will have about normal conditions. Well, here at the First Alert Weather Center, we're predicting slightly below average temperatures, not by much, maybe a degree. As far as the moisture goes, we should remain drier than average, so it looks like the drought may continue across parts of the area. And this doesn't mean we're not going to get any snowfall, though. We're predicting about 12 to 18 inches of snow. Also keep in mind, in this kind of weather pattern, sometimes you can get a little bit of ice, but ice is very difficult to forecast, so it's often tough to predict exactly how much and when of that we're going to see.
All right, thank you, Ron.